Canon R6?
That is right. I have just heard news about the Canon R6. Now, like, not right now, I'm not that far behind in the times, because it has been like, it was announced a while ago, but then these latest specs that just dropped, that's something I'm quite fresh to, and I'm gonna dive right into it and pretty much tell you why you should probably be looking at this camera instead of the R5. Come on! Now, before we get into that, if you're new around here, I just want to say hello. So good to see you through this little camera. I hope you're doing good. I hope you're interested in the R6, just like I am very interested in it. And if you like what you see, maybe consider subscribing. Come on! Anywho, let's get into this. So first of all, the specs are out there, but I'm just gonna dive a little bit into it to begin with, because they're quite insane for what they are. Like, I know they're not R5 insane, but they're a little bit less than that about here. That's how insane they are. Let's get in this. Here we go. So the first one, the least impressive one, is it's got a 20 megapixel full frame sensor. There's some big pros to having a less megapixel camera. It's got in-body image stabilization. Oh, that was a hard one to say. Try saying that. I've actually never had to say it out loud until I said that, which quite frankly, no one knows how good it's gonna be, but the R5's got it, it's got it. But if it's good, it's good. If it's not, Photo specs don't care about it. It's got 4K video up to 60p, which is pretty rad. It's got full HD up to 120, which, yep, my 90D can do that, my C200 can do that. It's got dual memory SD card slot. Come on! That's really good. Now, the reason, I'm just gonna stop here for a second, the reason why that's really good is CF Express cards that you have to get for the R5 are more expensive. We all own SD cards. So you're already good to go. So my SD cards I bought for my C200 will work with this camera straight out of the bat, and I can run dual SD cards. So I don't need to run a CF Express card and an SD card. And let's be real, with the 8K you're gonna be recording, the 8K RAW that you're gonna be recording in the Canon R5, you're only gonna be able to do that to the CF Express card. You're not gonna be able to do that to SD, so there's probably not gonna be a lot of dual recording options, which the other day I actually had on a shoot a whole SD card fail on me. So it's real, it happens. I know people say it doesn't. This is like the third SD card I've had fail on me, and they're good ones. I've had SanDisk has failed on me, Angel Bird has failed on me. These SD cards, they just fail. So dual SD card slots, if you're getting paid for what you do, highly recommend. That's pretty awesome there. You've also got no top-down screen. I'm videoing, so I don't care. Build quality, apparently not as good as the EOS R5. I plan to buy small rig cages for all this stuff anyway, so it's like, I don't really care, it'll be pretty protected, and you should probably insure your gear anyway. I can see why some people will be antsy about that if you want to take it in the rain, but these cameras are not underwater cameras, so you shouldn't be taking it in the rain anyway. Ooh, people that take it out there. All these details are rumors. I should put a disclaimer somewhere on here, so they might change, but Canon Rumors is pretty good. It's gonna be announced in a couple of weeks anyway, so we're gonna see if these are right, but it's got oversampled 5K. Now, oversampled 5K video equals crispy image. Get amongst it. It's got Canon Log. Canon Log is awesome, and this is why Canon Log is also more awesome in this camera, because it has 10-bit. We aren't 100% sure if that's all recording formats or what you have, you know, all that stuff, but if it gives us 10-bit oversampled 5K with Canon Log, that is flippin' insane, and I am so pumped on that. Autofocus identical to the R5, which will be bonkers ridiculous. It's got head detection AF. I'm guessing it just tracks your head. It says head detection AF, so obviously it just tracks your head. It'd be weird if it was like head detection AF and then it tracks your arm, and Canon's like, yeah, what did you think it meant? So obviously it's pretty straightforward, that one. It's got no RAW video mode. Shocker there. It's meant to be cheaper. I don't know why they'd be like, it's even better. Although it's kind of, R5 kind of do that, but anywho. It's got blah, 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 photography things, battery things, boring things. You can look this up yourself. And it also says under 2,500 US dollars. We've got the EOS R5 about to come out, we've got the EOS R6 about to come out, and a lot of filmmakers with their EOS Rs, or you've been holding out for that A7 III that does not exist, and who knows if it comes out, it might come out. When I recorded this video, there was no such thing, and we've been waiting for years, so just give up on Sony. Or Sony, do something awesome. Like, because Canon is doing a lot right now, and you're the only competitor. Nikon has no hope on a comeback at this stage, and I feel like the Fuji XT series has been awesome, but nobody's cared. And Panasonic has lost all its hype after the GH5. But now Canon is all the rage again. So we're talking about Canon, Sony. You could come up with a right upper hook in a couple of months or so, but we will see. But right now it's Canon all the way. So right now, a lot of filmmakers out there, a lot of peeps, my peeps, people watching this video, you're asking yourself, should I get the R5 and spend a lot of money and a whole lot of money on hard drives, as I've talked about in this video right here, which you can click on, where I talk about how ridiculous the file sizes will be? Or should I get the R6? The sensible decision. For me, straight away, I'm going to tell you, I'm most likely getting the R6 for a couple of main reasons. One, it does 4K 10-bit up to 60p. That is what I want. That is all I need, really. I own a Canon C200 and I film in RAW if I need RAW with that. But most of the projects I film, I actually film in 8-bit because they're so much long forward, and I just can't, my projects and clients can't afford the hard drive space it takes to work with 4K RAW. So imagine 8K RAW, it's just gonna be a whole nightmare, let alone the bits we don't know about, how long you can record for, all that. I need a complementary camera. So a camera that can do 4K 60p in 10-bit is more than enough for what I need as a second angle. So this R6 is awesome, and like nobody really needs more than 4K already now. So 8K, yeah, future-proof yourself. By the time we get to 8K, every camera is going to be filming 8K. So that's kind of the thing. It's like these revolutionary cameras which like blow people's minds and give you future-proofing specs. They usually have a roundabout method that's a bit clunky and isn't the best. So that's something you got to keep in mind. Yeah, it's 8K. The only other camera giving you 8K is a Red Monstro, I think. So that's like something to consider there. The second thing, it's got the C-Log mixed with the 10-bit. That's just an awesome color grading combo. And like in 4K, it's like, I feel like that's actually what filmmakers are asking for. 4K 10-bit, that's what everyone's, in a small package, that's what everyone's asking for. Now, all those features that are removed that you might be a bit like, oh, it doesn't have that top-down thing, that's for photography settings. And I do not think that this camera in any way targeting photographers. It's actually got the lowest megapixel sensor out of all of them. The RP has a 26 megapixel camera, and that camera is pretty rubbish, if I do say so myself. Unless you're getting into like photography or filmmaking and you want a full frame camera, maybe get that. That's one thing to consider. The second thing you've got to think about is the sensor being less megapixels actually improves low light in video. So the more megapixels you have, the more digital noise and artifacting you're gonna actually see in the image. If we all remember back in the golden age of Sony, when they released the A7S, it only had a 12 megapixel full frame sensor, and it blew everyone's mind. And a part of the reason they could do that is having that low megapixel count. So I truly believe having this only 20 megapixel count will help so much. And the final thing, which I think is awesome, is the cost. 2,500 US versus about 4,000 US. Now that is a big difference. Here in Australia, that actually equals more around $3,000, $3,500 mark is my prediction for how much it'll come out here in the Australian dollar. So we will see. I really do feel like this camera, the R6, is the better choice for filmmakers. Now, there's gonna be a couple of people out there like Peter McKinnon, Maddie, my boy Maddie, who are probably gonna buy the R5 and it's gonna be awesome. But if you're that shooter that's kind of more around the C200 or lower shooter, or you're like this, you're just for YouTube or online content, the R6 may be the better option. And I actually think, my prediction is this camera will be more popular on paper than the R5, because I think we'll see the sales report and more people will end up going for the R6 because you get more bang for your buck. And the only real difference that I think filmmakers have to decide between, because it's not the 8K, it's not the better build camera, it's definitely not that top-down screen thing, it's most likely gonna be the 4K 120. So you can get 4K 120 in the R5, you can't get it in the R6. That's something I had to think about for a long time, but I honestly don't think I need it. Upscaling my 120 to 4K has been fine in the past. The 120 on this camera is great. So unless it comes out complete rubbish, I think a lot of people are going to be happy with it and going to go with that camera. But obviously, Canon does weird things with their slow motion sometimes, so it might look like absolute trash, which might convert a couple more shooters. And if you're a hybrid shooter, I'll say a professional hybrid shooter, the R5 might be a bit better with that 45 megapixel camera and the better shutter speeds and all that stuff there. I can get that. I can get that. But if you're solely looking at this for video, man, R6 is the way to go. And it's like the file size, you won't destroy your hard drive by rapid throwing it. Although I did work out here that it will be about 10 minutes you'll get on a 64 gig SD card in like 4K 10-bit. But that versing 3 minutes in 8K, not bad, you know? You could get, what's that, I can't do quick math. You get about 30 minutes under 500 gig. You get about 10 minutes in 8K, so. But yep, that's all I'm gonna say. R6, way of the future, not the R5. I've officially left the R5 bandwagon. Now I'm on the R6 bandwagon, and you should be too. So please subscribe, like this video, share it around, you know, debate the heck out of it about R5 versus R6, because I change my mind daily, but right now I'm saying R6 is the better camera. Case closed. Let me know what you're gonna be getting, if any, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.